Hey everyone, Sparks here, back again for another installment of Major Minor. Last time around, we continued with our small reprieve. While we did have to make a few small choices, most of the actual episode was watching things unfold. And honestly, I have to say this right now, the we found out the truth behind the Midnight Deaths. From what I can gather from context, next, Rayo gave Maxine Tokyo to practice in preparation for a competition that she's in. That practice was the Midnight Depths, and the rope that she has tied to her arm is actually the murder weapon. So, people's theory about the fact that the person takes the murder weapon with them is very accurate. But, yeah, it's actually kind of shocking, really, just how much this looks off. Heck, the fact that she actually has straight up decided to kill somebody outside of that midnight time frame means that now everyone that dies, they're dead. They are actually gonna be a lot more death between now and the end of the story, which will all have to take place within 24 hours. So things are gonna accelerate pretty quickly, which is why we can't waste any more time and must get straight back to. Alright, so before we get back to the episode, let's take a look. 25 total saves, 7 true ending flags, and we only have to get affection with 2 more characters. So, hopefully we actually can get that affection. So, let's see what happens. When I arrive in the office, they stare at me intently. I quickly apologize for any tardiness I have displayed. I explain that Acheron held me up in order to chat. It seems to be enough to sate their curiosity. No worries. We had no schedule. Besides, Keela kept me company. We had quite a lot to chat about. Yeah, Singe is really cool. He's smart and well-spoken. I can learn a lot from him. You flatter me, Keela. But please, have a seat. There is much to discuss. I do as instructed and sit beside Keela. I expected the atmosphere in the room to be happy, but for some reason I feel a sense of dread. Singe also looks like he's at his wit's end. At the press conference, he seemed so calm and carefree. But that must have been an act for the public. I have to wonder, is this how he truly feels? I want to start by thanking you both. Your dedication has been unmatched. The contest was a massive success. To that end, I have a present for you. I wanted to give it to you much earlier. Just give me a moment to get them, alright? Singe reaches under his desk for a few moments. He opens and closes drawers looking for something. After a few moments, he smiles and lets out a sigh. Almost like he was afraid he lost them for a moment. I know you had to give up the cans. The ones that won you your spot. I mean, to be honest, I found that silly. So I decided to have some replicas made. Something you could keep as a souvenir. Aw, that's sweet of you. They're exactly the same as you knew. Yes, I'm a man of sentiment. The contest clearly meant a lot to you. So I thought these would be a nice gift. He places 2 cans of Popstar on his desk. Me and Keela exchange glances with one another. Singe is really awesome. I was sad I had to give mine away, but now everything is A-OK. Keela happily grabs his can and places it in his pocket. It sure was interesting. I didn't expect it. The can on desk reminds me of those simpler times. It was an exact replica of the one that got me here. Now it seems a little different, doesn't it? After all that happened, was it really so prestigious? It seems it won us lots of pain and suffering. I hoped to myself that things would dissolve happily. Still, so I don't seem rude, I accept the offering. I rest it in my lap, noticing that it's full. I'm assuming Singe wants it to stay that way. I had to guard over these cans with my life. Didn't want them to get stolen or leaked. Then there could be more than 2 winners. This is a personal present for myself. Please treat them with love and care. With that said, We have to move on. A lot has happened since we arrived here, especially since you two arrived. I am sorry that it has. Wow, that is a bad typo. I mean, really? Come on. I'm sorry that it has come to this, but I no longer feel safe keeping you here. I have arranged for transportation. Tomorrow you will both be taken home. I'm afraid the contest is cancelled. Trust me, it's not what I want to hear. I truly wish I had better news, but we have to move on from this. You two are exempt from my previous rule of having to stay inside the building. They're both free, but that's not all. You'll be receiving compensation, of course. We have a lot of money aside for you two. Instead, we'll just be giving it to you. You'll get a check before you leave. For about $100,000? What the heck? That is a lot of money. Jeez. Can I have that, please? Please give me the $100,000. I would actually like that here, now. Please? Please? I hope these terms are accepted. Your flight home will be tomorrow. I hope we can be mature here. Will you agree to these terms? I will. I had not an acceptance. I can't exactly say no. But I knew I was still needed in Terra. So I'd have to play the rest of this by ear. This money isn't much. When worlds are at stake. Okay, when worlds are at stake, yes. But to somebody who needs money, it is a lot. With that said, I have one last gift. Singe reaches into his pocket and pulls out 2 cards. Interesting. They appear to be credit cards. There's one for each of you. They have a few $1,000s on them. It will help until you cash a check. This is my own personal money too. Another gift, directly from me. There are lots of amenities on site. I trust you will enjoy your final day. Your flight will leave by noon. Meet me in the lobby at 7 o'clock. Okay. Gila grabs one of the cards and puts it in his pocket. I follow suit and do the same. This is eerie. It's almost like this wasn't happening. It was surreal. The end of an era, it feels like. Everything we both wanted, taken away from us. But I can't give up. There's still lots to solve. Then Singe's phone rings. It's a finger up, ordering us to wait a moment. Yes, Singe speaking. I see. Are you certain? I understand. Please call for help. Singe hangs up his phone. He slumps down in his chair with a huge sigh. What happened? Who is that? I'm afraid I have some bad news. Corpses found on the premises. In the backstage area, to be precise. Are you serious? Singe places both hands over his face. He uses to speak, but it's muffled. It's unclear what emotion is worn underneath. It was Rocker, our guitarist. Oh God, I knew it! I knew it! No, not Rocker. I was enjoying him. Yeah. Again, at much earlier time. Alright, Ray, what were you planning? What are you actually planning? There's no way you can actually expect everyone to die and stay dead. You told her that she could revive people. Or at least implied it, so... Did you actually plan for all this to be meaningless? So I guess that's all I need to say. The list, these people, and sparks. Not to mention the power I've given you. Any question before I send you back? Remember, this may be your only chance. I don't want you leaving with any regrets. Whoa! Hello, Acheron! Okay, this is interesting. And I guess I should have expected it with him being on the title screen too, but still surprising. Huh. No, it was all very clear. It might be hard to find a way in. The door already has a guard, you know. It shouldn't be an issue. And after that, your opposition, their goal is to kill. Yours is to protect. Again, shouldn't be an issue. I've never failed any of my clients. I have no need to treat this differently. Well, there is some leeway here. You just need to leave one person alive. For your competition, it's all or nothing. It'll be interesting to see who wins. Life and death, fighting each other. The spot is as good as mine. I have no intention of ruining my record. I've never let a client down before. Very well. I have one final request, however, regarding the one called Sparks. What is it? I'll be making up a big story. Something about parallel worlds. They'll think they have a power. If they tell you this, humor them. They mustn't know the truth of things. They are the key to my other venture. Very well. With that being said, are you ready for the games to begin? The eternal struggle of life and death. But this time, we'll have a victor. Yes, I am. Good. And one final thing. When you meet your opposition, I think you'll come to understand. There's no motivation like sibling rivalry. Sibling? Those two are related. Really? Oh, what do you know? We're back in Terra, and we have Veliquez. In a church. Okay. Veliquez kneels at an altar, surrounded by silence. It is in my time of need. I fear I am alone, but who does a man such as me pray to, when I already bear the burden of the world, and when its fate is now upon us? He grips the scepter in his hand, trembling softly. A moment to the dead is my only hope. Perhaps that is proof enough of my failure. But I know that we can find salvation, for nothing is below such a right, not as long as they have the power, or if they have the strength to use it. The fate of the universe is now a gamble, and here I am, filled with doubt, when once I was so sure. However, now it is too late. They are coming with 1,000 furies. They will seek our destruction. Taking a deep breath, he stands. But as they say about desperate times, he aims the sharp side of the scepter towards his body. He drives it through his chest. With a frightening scream, he loses his balance. What the heck? Grabbing onto a pew for balance, he watches the floor become stained with his blood. He cries for terror and the immortal king. What the heck? What the actual ever-loving heck was that? Aha! Wow. Okay. That was a thing. Huh. We sit in silence for far too long. Singe rests his face in his hands in utter defeat. Keelan and I exchange glances, unsure of what to do. Was Rocker truly dead? And aligning perfectly with those mysterious texts. Wait. I have to use my brain here. I said a friend of mine would die today. Can't say that. Is it a Rocker friend? We've had next to no contact since I arrived. The only people I've had real contact with, Keelan and Rook. But they're safe and sound. To make eye contact with Keelan, I shrug. Perhaps it would be best for us to leave Singe alone. Perhaps leave this place altogether. We shouldn't have to wait until morning. Not with danger like this lurking about. Especially not since we have those credit cards. Singe, are you okay? I'm conflicted. Rocker was a prodigy. His loss is profound, not just for me and my endeavors, the music industry as a whole. He takes out his phone and starts texting. I must confer with Akron. I think we all know what this means. Huh? The killer is among us. This calls for a change of plans. A change? I need to work with Akron. Together we can catch this killer. On the other hand, your flight home has been bumped up. I'll make sure you're home later tonight. I'm sure you understand. The place was not isolated until the worst has come to pass. We are under attack, and I cannot risk you two as casualties. Yeah, I understand. Talk about worst case scenario. I wonder if this tour will even happen. So much has gone to waste. But for what purpose? Why would someone want to do this? It's a good question, actually. And I did have a better grasp on things than he did. If someone was misusing their powers from the Ark, why would that man give it to them in the first place? I assumed that he chose his specimens carefully. At least that's the impression he gave to me. I didn't think he'd choose someone so reckless. In fact, I thought I was the only one chosen. Do I really want to leave? I feel like I have a part to play in this mystery. For now, it seems like this ends tonight, because that's all the time I have before I'm sent home. It's a tall order. Catch a murderer and save Tara, all in one night. I feel like I bit off more than I can chew. So, what do we do in the meantime? I would suggest sticking together, or at least being around those you trust. Shock and Rocker rarely parted ways. The killer must have been watching. We waited until Rocker was alone. Don't give them that chance. I'm afraid that is all the advice I have. Wait a minute. You're gonna make us stay here when there's a killer out and about? That's crazy. I thought maybe you'd make us wait at the airport or something, Singe. But keeping us in harm's way? That's a very pessimistic way of looking at things, Keela. You should rethink this. This is basically a hostage situation. Might as well have guns to our heads. What's the one thing you must never do when someone has a gun pointed at you? Make sudden movements. Exactly. A rash action like that might provoke the assailant into taking rash actions of their own. We must remain here. I think it's best if we let them assume their plan is coming to fruition. That way we can catch them off guard later. I will discuss the best course of action with Acheron. If I'm not mistaken, this is far from his first brush with a killer. But as it stands, I think the best course of action is not to give off the impression that we fear the killer, that we're running. I guess that makes sense. I don't know. Truth be told, I don't know either, but Acheron will. If the plan changes, I'll let you know. Oh, I got his contact information. Okay, don't know how useful that'll be. Back in his chair with a sigh. At first, I thought I was responsible for Clace's death. Maybe allowing him to leave this place put him in danger. But now I know we've been targeted. Honestly, I think that Clace would have been attacked no matter where he was. I don't know if that's scary or if it's reassuring. But now the burden of responsibility is one easily discarded. I feel as if my mind has become more clear. I would have said much clearer. Sounds a little bit better, but Now we'll use this newfound resolve to find and restrain the killer. Give them justice. Grumble helper again. I must have pressed the button too many times. Oh well. Sounds a fist down on his table. You're free to go. Please, heed the advice I gave earlier. Now be in contact about your flight. I can understand where he's coming from. Guilt can be a devastating force. To be free from it is truly liberating, especially if it wasn't your fault. Sparks, you can go. I need to have a few words with Singe. I'll run into you later, I'm sure. Killer reclines in his chair, clearly displaying that he's here to stay. Very well. Be safe, Sparks. I nod. This is all a lot to process. Guess we were expected to act like rats in a cage, moving as the mastermind expects. Hopefully none of us wants to rattle that cage. Yes, let us save. Oh god, how long was that? Ooh. About 18 minutes. Okay. Take a deep breath as I close the door behind me. I press my back against it, resting for a moment. So Singe was relieved that he's not responsible. It's odd to be relieved in this kind of scenario. But I understand where he's coming from. We've all wallowed in self-pity before. least he's free to use his energy in other ways. In this case, plotting with Acheron. Regardless of how I feel about Singe's current plan, I know that Acheron will keep us all safe. Talk some sense into him if he's off track. It wasn't my place to decide what they did. It wasn't my place to defy Acheron's orders either. They definitely hired the best in the business. Sparks. As if on cue, he approaches me. I saw the paramedics carry out a body bag. I was terrified, wondering who it could be. I got a text from Singe right away. Glad to see that you're safe. But in light of what happened, I think some changes need to be made. Singe does not have a good grasp on things. I expect some answers from him promptly. I expect him to put me in charge. Rocker's death was a tragedy, one that could have been easily avoided, if only. Cutting off Acheron's, Shock approaches with fervor. What did you say? I was just saying. It's a tragedy what happened to Rocker. He was so young as well. Shock hands turn to fists. Trembles, clearly fighting off tears. Tell me what happened. Acheron looks at me, unsure of how to respond. I shrug. Dealing with this is not my expertise. There was an instant shock, like what happened to Clace. Actually, it was exactly the same. Rocker died in the same way. I guess Singe gave Acheron more info than us. If this was true then, the person texting me, they killed Clace. But not only that, they were the Midnight Killer, using their power from the Ark for nefarious purposes. And the culprit is really in this building. That gets the power from a place like that? I shiver. Utterly terrified at the implication. It's all connected, more than I thought. Wouldn't be surprised if Terra was involved too. You mean, unfortunately, yes. How could you let this happen? Me, best in the business, perfect track record. You're supposed to be here to save us. What were you doing instead? Do you even know where Rocker was? Well, judging by... I don't care about judging by. Your stupid deductions won't save anyone. 2 of my friends are already dead. Shock, please. Shut up! Fit of anger, Shock throws a punch at Acheron. Acheron doesn't move from his place. He stands his ground. Reaching out a paw, he catches Shock's punch. What? Acheron squeezes Shock's fist. He trembles in pain, trying to break free. But Acheron's grip tightens. Looks like Shock. He's like, hey! Let go! It's clear that Shock is starting to panic. Perhaps he thought less of Acheron, or more of himself. It's hypocritical of you to say that. Instead of releasing his grip, he tightens it further. Don't place the blame of this on me. We're dealing with a serial killer here. If I am supposed to protect you, you don't want to be on my bad side. He releases his grip. Shock flies back and lands on the floor. Momentum of his attempt to escape used against him. He pushes himself up and runs away. He covers his face, as if in shame. After a few moments pass, Acheron turns back to me. Terribly sorry about the scene. I have little patience for men like him. Quick to anger. Irrational. You know. I saw it in his eyes. He thinks I'm responsible for Rocker. There's no way that he's thinking clearly. I know it's my job to protect, but I can't be everywhere all at once. It's not for him to blame me. I'm afraid that now I'm self-conscious. Let's not let his thinking dissuade me. He rests his paw on his chin. In deep thought. Perhaps it would be best if you followed after him. I think in his situation, he might do something we consider stupid. People can do that when they've lost everything, and they have nothing left to lose. This is true. People do stupid things when they're sad. Really stupid things. I don't know what else to say about that one. Other than, I hope to God Shock doesn't get himself killed. He's one of the few, well, I wouldn't say one of the few characters, decent characters left, but he's one of the few people that, you know, I think I can trust. After all, he's honest, straightforward. He feels things strongly. That can be a good thing in small doses. I'm only suggesting this because I saw you hang out with him and Rocker earlier. I think it's better that you do this, especially with what just happened. I don't want to do that to him again. Of course, I'm sure he'll find a way to twist my actions against me. I'm only one man. We're not gods. We're limited. Can we truly be held responsible for something we never had the power to stop in the first place? This, I'm not sure. Either way, you should get going. I have a meeting with Singe as well. I promise to change for the better. I'll be in touch as soon as I'm out. Ooh, we got his contact info. Yay! So he walks away. Suppose he's right. I should check up on Shock. I notice Keela exiting Singe's office. Runs downstairs without even seeing me. I know what's on his mind. He's acting a little off lately. Acheron shrugs as he enters the office. I do the same as I follow after Shock. And we're on Convention Center, floor 1. Keela wanders the convention center by himself, seemingly against the previous instructions of Singe. He scans the room in a curious manner, as if he's looking for something, unsure of what it is. I really hope I'm not late. He sure likes the sound of his own voice. He nervously presses his back against the wall. To pass the time, he uses his phone for a few moments. But out of the corner of his eye, he notices something. A figure slowly approaches him. There's confirmation enough that he's not too late. He lets out a sigh of relief as his worries wash away. Hello, Keela. Oh God, no, no. You leave this little ball of sunshine alone. He is a cute, innocent little squirrel and deserves to be left alone. No. No. I don't think Singe would ever shut up. He's really determined to catch this killer. Yeah, I could tell. I think my weapons are here. I doubt Acheron could stop them himself. He's too infatuated with Daz. Really? I didn't figure him the type. Seemed all business and no pleasure. It's hard to get a read on him sometimes. Either way, let's not waste any time. Glad you agreed to this meeting. Of course. I'd never leave someone like you hanging. It's not every day that a billionaire... Just call me Max, Keela. My money does not define me. Oh, of course. I didn't mean to offend you, Max. It's okay, Keela. You didn't know. But I'm here as Max. Now as the CEO of Armstrong Incorporated. Fair enough. Well, I'm here as Keela. So, we're on even playing ground. What did you want to talk to me about? About everything that's going on right now. Sorry for just assuming a moment ago, but are you thankful for the weapons here? I'm not sure. I know Acheron isn't, but he's also not doing his job. I mean, if he was... Rocker would be alive, right? Not to see it my way. But your weapons didn't help either, so I can't say for sure. Sorry, Max. What a sharp wit you have. If that wasn't funny, I'd be offended. Singe is the one responsible for that. He has the key to detonating the weapons. I do too, but it's not my job. He bought them, so he should use them. He said he's too busy drowning incidents. What drama? Well, Rocker's death changed that. He realized his place death was his fault. So he feels a little singed. Is that so? Yeah. So maybe his judgment will be more clear. Still no excuse for Rocker, though. I'll say. I guess my weapons haven't exactly gotten the chance to prove themselves yet. I'll let you give them the proper chance. Yes. I'm not going to be here for much longer anyway. Flying home later. But since he wants us to keep... He says if the killer knows we're applying, they might take rash action. Oh, really? Softly. Thank you for sharing that with me. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that information with the killer. Yes, I know you don't know that, but seriously, you shouldn't have shared that with anyone. Anyone could be a killer. Heck, it could even be Shock. He could have he could have just be playing innocent. It could have been Daz, who just wants all the fame for herself. It could be Singe, who wants to make Daz a star. It could have been anyone. Literally anyone. So you shouldn't have said that. Sharing that. Wouldn't want you to get caught in the fray. Yeah, exactly. So whatever happens here, I'm out. I didn't want to come to begin with. Wow, can't believe you said that. You must trust me if you let that slip up. Well, I don't see why I can't. I hate Tokyo. It's so stupid. Everyone is staring at me like I'm weird. I know. Dug into your history a little bit. Really? Why? You're just so interesting, Keela. Did you tell anyone else? The real reason you're here? No, that's probably for the best. It'd be a shame if everybody here found out you were lying to them all this time. Hey, you keep that to yourself, Max. Perhaps I will. Or perhaps I won't. I'd be more inclined to keep it to myself if you were to do me a small favor, Keela. Fine, checkmate, I guess. Oh, not quite yet. I'm afraid I have to go. My favor involves another meeting. At about 7 o'clock tonight. Are you down for that? Sure, where at? Next way's down hallway connected to the lobby. Second door on the right. There's a small meeting room there. It'll give us much more privacy. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have another meeting to attend to. She disappears just as fast as she arrived. Deal with my big mouth. Keep getting myself into trouble. Huh, you're hiding something, Keela, huh? And clearly you have been lying since we first met. Interesting. Well, hopefully that won't last much longer. But let's just see how long we're at. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it for the beginning of chapter 6. Yeah, lots of progress. I mean, true, we haven't made it. We haven't gotten any more affection with anyone, or gotten any more true flags, but I think we're a good step closer. So, for now, I'm gonna call it, and we'll continue this next week. So until then, see yas.